PCV valve coming out right now. I got like 2 more left, I think. Shoot, I got some in the back as well. Just 3. Yeah, 4 left. So I got these fuel injector lines. So it's way easier. last one back here. No, two more. Two more. This one. This should be it. So. This is one. Clean that one out. Let's see if it'll fit now. Oh, shoot. It's always one bolt, one screw. So for everyone who's in here, this is a B8 Audi S4, doing a full service on it. PCV valve, thermostat, water pump, full carbon cleaning, brake booster, vacuum pump. And I already did the valve coverage as well, so 100,000 mile maintenance pretty much. But mainly because I want to push more power out of the supercharger for this car. It's a supercharged V6. And I want to go with a smaller supercharger pulley, bigger crane pulley, so I'll make sure everything is running at its peak performance before I go ahead and slap some more boost into it. Bolt just won't come loose, man. Trying to make sure I don't strip it so I can clean it out for a smooth minute now. Light. So I've been at this job for about day, 1 day, like 2 hours. So the entirety of yesterday and this whole morning. It's currently, I think, what, about 9, 10 o'clock where I'm at right now. So got an early start. But this should all be finished by the end of the day today. Make sure it runs and works smoothly. And this really isn't a very complicated job. It's just very tedious. A lot of parts to disconnect, a lot of hoses, a lot of vacuum lines, things like that. A couple of tight spaces, but it's nothing too crazy. Once you don't strip any bolts and anything like that, you should be good. But then I usually do videos on these type of jobs for the Audi or any other car. But I think this one was just a little bit too complex. I just wanted to get it done, so I didn't make a video on this particular job. Kind of why I went live, just to kind of show what I was doing with the car. But I am doing like recording some footage, just to show if you own a B8 Audi S4, it is possible to get the job done in your garage with the right tools. I'm not gonna say simple tools, but the right tools to get this job done. I think this whole service costs about $7,000 if you go to the dealership for parts and labor, I believe. But I think I'm only $1,000 in with this whole job, so parts, tools, borrowed some couple of tools as well, but about $1,000 for this full service, and then probably 48 hours of labor almost. Close this thing, strip out. There we go. But the main thing with Audi or just cars in general is that you gotta take your time with this thing, because this thing was leaking a lot of oil, so a lot of rust, a lot of dirt. So every bolt you every bolt you have to like take your time with it, clean it out first, and then remove it so you don't strip anything. And this thing was leaking so much oil that like every bolt was covered, every screw, every bolt was covered in oil. So that's why it's taking so much longer for this whole job. But I'm kind of closing to the end of the whole thing. So once this PCV valve, this is an oil separator, pretty much oil and air separator. Once this comes out, I'm gonna replace it with the new one. I'm put the thermostat on. The thermostat is already out here at the bottom. Thermostat is already out right there. I have to do the water pump as well, but I need a triple square to get that bought out, so I'm about to pick that up at some point today. And it's a M9 triple square. Every kit that they sell, every kit has like M8 or M10, and they skip right over M9. So I decided to put the one bolt or screw that no one really sells into the most inconvenient places. So usually a T50 Torx bit will get the water pump off. I got 2 of them off with a T50, but the last one kind of almost stripped out, so I need to get the M9 triple square, and I'll get that right on off. Or I might take some vice grips and try to twist it off. It's a pretty large bolt that holds the water pump in place. Just one more back here. Oh, this is just clipped in, huh? There we go. and it's a lot of cables and wires, but they all kind of fold back properly into place. So every time you put a part on, just match up the wires, and it all kind of sits where it's supposed to be. Plus, I have the footage to go back and make sure everything is connected, just in case. This might be the same issue. This one might be cleaned out real quick. Nope, don't have to. And yeah, this is the last T30 torque spit. I'm gonna unplug these fuel injectors over here, and then the whole thing should lift out. Actually, there's one more screw up here, I believe. So take that out as well. And the whole thing should lift right on out. We need to clean up the surface and everything. Call it a day, man. Whatever. Replace the parts, I mean, at least. See this one down here. And then one more at the top. I think the scary thing working on an Audi, especially when you're this deep into the engine, is that a lot of things to go wrong. There's so many vacuum lines, so many plugs, that if you just forget with one thing, you have to strip the whole car back down, and you really do not want to do that. You have to drain the coolant again. And the car is currently in a service position, so it's up on jacks, and the whole nose is tilted forward, and that takes a good amount of time as well. But for this tedious job, you have to kind of just take your time and go back through everything. And honestly, if it doesn't work, it's very unfortunate, but following all the steps correctly, it should turn out just fine. I believe this is the last one up here. So, and the whole car is held together by Torx bits, T30 Torx bits of varying sizes. But if you have an Audi, your jobs are not hard to do. Anything up here in the front of the engine, at least, especially when it's in service position. I'm not sure about the B9s with the turbochargers. I believe they shouldn't be too hard, but this is the B8. This is the supercharged V6, and it's honestly not that hard to work on. Of course, with the right tools. All right, so I'm gonna unplug the fuel injectors, and we can go ahead and lift the PCV valve up and out of here. So this one should probably be unplugged. So yeah, besides the PCV valve, once I put the new PCV valve in, I'll do the thermostat as well. And then I just need to get the triple square, get the water pump off. And literally everything is right here. So when you do one of these jobs on Audi, if you're taking the supercharger off, they recommend that you just do everything. PCV valve, thermostat, water pump, crossover pipe, because when it's off, everything's just so accessible to you. Now, I'm not saying that it's an easy job by any means, because once the supercharger is off, there's a bunch of more steps to get to any of this other stuff. You have to take off all the fuel, the tumble flap housing. You have to take out this annoying bolt back here that holds the coolant pipe in, pull the coolant pipe out, a bunch of fuel lines and things. It's very tedious, but it's not the best. But if you're going through the trouble to take out the supercharger, you might as well, you know, do everything else. Like I said, with the B9s, you don't really have these issues with the B9s, like the PCV valve and things like that. Those are all kind of last the life of the vehicle because they designed them better. They also have the B8.5. That one has much less problems than the B8. The B8 has transmission issues, a bunch of other different things that will break and fail on this thing. This car right here, actually, it had a transmission failure. I actually bought this on auction about, I want to say, a year and a half ago. Had to replace the whole Medtronic unit in the transmission, and that was a very, very costly procedure. I had to buy a whole new transmission as well, and it still doesn't really act how it's supposed to be acting, but it drives at least. And then, of course, just regular maintenance and things like that needs to get done. Had a few leaks, had the crossover pipe leak. This crossover pipe is actually part of the full maintenance service, but this actually was leaking, I want to say, about 6 months ago, so I already replaced that. But I am going to replace the seals and gaskets on here today. So I bought some more of them. Make sure it sits in there properly. That's my last fuel injector. Here we go. Kind of tight in there. But yeah, it's a lot of things up with this car, man. The MMI doesn't work. A lot of Audis have the radio issue when the MMI kind of goes into a little failure mode. It's not getting any ground or power to it, so it just turns black. So you can't check your system settings, can't check your navigation, oil, anything like that. And you know the Audi doesn't come with the oil dipstick, so that's kind of an important piece. So I kind of figured out a little runaround to that with a fiber optic loop, and that kind of fixed the issue. It doesn't work 100%, but it works good enough, you know, to check the oil and everything like that, and play some music at least. But it's just little inconveniences that happen with Audis and the B8s. And of course, you go to the dealership, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to repair. But man, when these things work though, man, the Audi is a pretty good car. A little bit of luxury, a little bit of performance, kind of like the best of every world, pretty much. But for my circumstances with this car particularly, I spent way too much money on it. After buying it at auction and replacing the transmission, I spent more money on the car than what it actually works. So kind of like with this repair right here, with the transmission, things like that. And I actually fell in love with the car. So in terms of like, you know, if I ever would sell it or anything like that, the plan was to buy it, fix it, and then sell it. But I actually fell in love with the car. It's very unique. A lot of more potential with the dual pulley. Of course, it's a 500 horsepower. But it's just a unique car with a lot of potential. And I enjoy working on it, so I decided to keep the car forever, really, because you can't sell this car if you want to make a profit. So there's no point of selling it. So I would just keep the car forever, keep upgrading it, keep it maintained. And if I ever get to a point where I can bring this car to the track, I definitely want to see how it would perform. You know, get some new brakes, get some new tires. Of course, I have the upgrading cooling system. If you know about the B8, you have to upgrade the cooling system to make it perform as well as you want it to. There we go. Because the supercharger overheats so fast, man. I'll tell you. This car has launch control, so when you're doing like, you know, hard launches on this car numerous times, it heats up so quick. Even a mild pull on the when regular driving, it'll overheat. And it's a very noticeable performance loss as well when it does overheat. Just gotta drive it and let it cool down a little bit before you get back on it. Let's see, let me get this out. But yeah, once I get this full service done, I'm doing it kind of like stages. So full service, if that goes well, then we'll do the I'm gonna do actually probably get some test pipes on here, get my timing chain tensioners fixed, and then we'll upgrade the cooling system. And after the cooling system, we can do high pressure fuel pump and get some dual pulleys on here to get up to 500 horsepower. And then once that's in there, man, this car is pretty much done at that point. Just small cosmetic things that need to get done to the car. So a lot of hail damage, a lot of different things around the body that want to get fixed and get it wrapped. Probably all black or phantom black, pretty much. But all this right here is the first step to getting more power out of this engine, which is to do the full basic service. So replacing all the parts with the PCV, thermostat, things like that. All this tedious work I don't know why this effector is not coming out. Uh-oh. It's not. Yeah, there we go. Now it's out. Boom. All right, the moment I've been waiting for a whole day while taking this car apart is getting this PCV valve. So this is like the deepest part of the engine that you can really get to, besides, you know, going deep into the valves and to the pistons and things like that. But this is as deep as you really want to go or should ever need to go in the Audi. And that is this oil separator. So what we'll do here is we'll lift it up and try to wiggle it out of all these wires which sit in the way. Everything should be clear. All the bolts are loose. Yep. So, no idea where to grip this from. That doesn't have to come off. I think I just gotta pry it off pretty much. I have no issues with breaking this one because I have the other one sitting over there ready to go. See, Stefan, I see your comment. So today, if you're still in the chat, I'm fixing the PCV valve and doing a full service on the car. So PCV valve, thermostat, water pump, brake booster, vacuum pump here on the right. And then I did the valves last week, and just making sure it's, you know, just running properly, full maintenance, new coolant, new oil, things like that. And the goal is to add more power to this engine. So I'm gonna get the full maintenance done first, and then start tapping in more power. This is a supercharged V6, so I'm trying to run more boost, spin the supercharger faster, and go faster pretty much. But first step, like I said, was the full maintenance, of course. Yeah. And I always take my time. This is my first time ever doing a PCV valve in an Audi in general, so I know the part is clear and free, but I take my time with it, try to see where is it being held up at, because I don't want to break any of the hoses, lines, or wires, because if one of these breaks, first off, it's expensive to replace these parts as well, but they're hard to find, and they're always in inconvenient locations, of course, so it's always something. I'm gonna have to actually pry that up and out of there. Let's see, where is this? Yep, pry tool. Let's see if we can lift it up. I'm also doing a carbon cleaning after I get this PCV valve out. There we go. Yep. It's a whole bunch of dirt and gunk I have to clean out as well. That's gonna be very, very tedious work. But I take my time with this because it takes so much to get back down here. Like if this is not sitting properly when I put the whole car back together, it'll probably take me like a whole week to have enough motivation to get back under here to go take care of it, honestly. It's just so much work. But the more you do it, the faster you get at it. So I remember putting the car in service position would take like a whole day, of course, to get that in service position. But now you can kind of strip down. I can strip down this whole car in probably like 6 hours at this point. Get to the same point right here. All you need is the right tools, of course. I think taking off the supercharger is one of the easiest things to do, I feel like. Because you don't even need to put the car in service position to take off the supercharger. You just take off the belt, a couple of screws and clamps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 studs, and it lifts right on up. So it's not much of a challenge to get that off. Pry up back here as well. Gotta watch these bugs as well. Have all these open ports and stuff. And then last thing of course is the carbon cleaning of all 6 valves when I get all these parts installed. So and if you have an Audi S4 and want to do this job, it's a lot of videos out there on how to do it. I prefer FCP Euro. They always have a good detailed description of how to get things done. You also go to Reddit, check out Reddit, and they'll tell you what the videos or tutorials might leave out. They'll tell you all the bolts that you actually need, all the tools that you should use, and different strategies and techniques to get things done. Because in the video, those guys are actually struggling too, because Audis were not made for mechanics. They're made we're engineered pretty much, so the mechanic is still struggling to get parts out of the engine. So in the video, they'll probably do a little jump cut and show a whole bolts being freed, and they won't tell you how they did it. But it just takes some ingenuity, some useful tools, or just knowing how to use different tools for different purposes. Because they don't make tools for every job. You know what I mean? Trying to see, why is this thing not coming up? Got one side up. There shouldn't be any more screws in place. Okay, you got the dual pulley setup. Okay. Did you already take care of all your regular service? And you have the 0.5, or which one do you have stuff on? I think you might have did you have the B8.5, or was it the SQ5? This left side pried up. Space. Oh, the bolts are on there. There's that bolt right there. Yep, so looks like there is one more bolt that I missed out on. It's way back here. Yep. Let's get that up really quick. And it should look like S5 B8.5 on jackal. Yeah, that's actually the best way to do it. If I could do it again, I would definitely get the S5. I love the look of it, especially if I get the B8.5. Less transmission issues and things like that. But yeah, I always love the look of the S5. A lot of dudes on Instagram have the S5. Some dude had like bags on his and a bunch of other different upgrades. But honestly, if I find an S5, I might just have to pick one up. I'll definitely keep this car, but I still absolutely want the S5 just to have a coupe. I might do a manual transmission. This one already has the DSG, so when I launch, I'll hop in this one. But if I ever acquire enough money to own 2 Audis, I'll definitely get the S5 for sure. Or the S7 is always a nice one to look at too. Let's see, where is my Magda? It's gonna cost you what, 1,000 for stage 1 tune, 1,000 for the transmission tune, the TCU tune, and then everything's just a la carte pretty much. With Jackal, you pay what I think it's like 800, and you get all four files. You get the TCU tune, the ECU tune, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and then plus the support is just so good with Jackal. I've hit Matt up at like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and he'll respond within like an hour or two with a solution. And that's something that I'm not sure 034 or IE would provide. And of course, they have the custom tuning as well. What I'm excited for is the verbal tune or the crackle tune on the S4. I know some guys have the custom crackle tunes on the S4 or S5 or B8s pretty much, and they haven't released it to mainstream yet. So when I get my test pipes on, I'm either doing test pipes or doing the high flow cats. Now I have never seen anyone do the high flow cats, so I'm kind of skeptical. But I want to do the high flow cats purely because of the sound. I honestly do not like the way the test pipes sound on the Audis. It sounds like a trumpet. It just flares too much. It's too raspy, and I'm not really for that. But what I might go ahead and do is just do the high flow cats. I'm gonna ask my mechanic about his opinion on the high flow cats, especially when I'm doing a dual pulley because it gets super hot down there. So I don't want to run into the same issue having to replace the cats with test pipes after I run dual pulley with a crackle tune someday. But I think that'll be a cool video because no one has really done high flow cats on the S4. People have a lot of people gut the cats, and when you gut the cats on the S4, it sounds pretty freaking good, especially with the right exhaust setup. But test pipes with the right exhaust setup also sound pretty good as well. It just takes a lot more work. Yeah, definitely love to look at the S5, man. I want to pick one up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the stage 2 dual play because the supercharger one, like, oh man, to make that like much louder is gonna be absolutely amazing. And then yeah, test pipes are not gonna be fun. Luckily, I know my limit, so I'm not gonna do the test pipes. I've seen people do it in the garage, drop the transmission, but honestly, I'm not too happy to be under the car like that. So my mechanic, he actually works on Audi, specializes in Audi, so he'll be able to take care of the test pipes for me. And of course, I'm asking about the high flow cats. And like you said, the rasp on the test pipes are just not desirable. Of course, you need more power. Of course, you don't have to worry about it anymore. But man, the sound is just not not what you're looking for. If anything, I just want like a mellow exhaust note, a nice deep exhaust note, and an all supercharger line, if possible. I know I'm not missing another. Oh man, come on. If I'm being honest, man, this whole job right here is not particularly fun, but you can find some parts of it enjoyable. Like every small one is always fun. Like I had a bolt that kind of stripped and broke on the vacuum pump, but it took like a minute to get it out. I had to just unscrew it with some vice grips, and it literally just came right on out. So little small wins are always appreciated when you're working. So yeah, I'm assuming that I have to somehow break loose the gasket in the back because all the screws are definitely out. I'm not sure if you're back there. Yes, that was cool. But yeah, try and get this done by the end of the day. And might take a break here in a minute because I do have a friend pulling up. He got a new picked up a new car, I believe, yesterday. So I'm gonna check that out. Probably put it on the stream as well. He says it's a surprise too. So it's either a. So before he had two Mustangs. He had the EcoBoost first, and then he had a 4.6 GT from like 2007. That was a pretty cool car. Sounded great. And then now he was looking at I believe a manual 5.0. Manual 5.0, or it might be a Corvette. I'm not sure which one, C7, C6, but it might be a Corvette. All I know is that it's gonna have a manual transmission, so he's gonna pull up pretty soon. We should hear him on the video at some point. We can check that out as well. It'll be a nice break, and then I'll probably ask him to help me work on the car as well. Probably get him some pizza or something like that. I do need to run up to the store as well. We love free labor around here. So yeah, so it's moving on that side. It's just stuck on his back right side for some reason. There's nothing solid that I can put the pry bar on. So. See. 207mm pulley and the heat exchanger. It took 18 hours. Wild, man. That's gonna be wild. So the 207mm is just the that's just the bottom, the crank pulley pretty much. I'm going with the I'm gonna try out the 190. Was it the 57mm supercharger pulley and the 198, I think, crank pulley. I'm gonna try that ratio out because I believe it gives like the most low end torque. I believe the 207 gave like the smoothest power band. I can't remember what they were saying about it. But yeah, I'm definitely try out the 198 first, or 195. I forgot what size it was. 195, I believe. And then did you do a divorce tank as well? Because when I do the heat exchanger, I'm actually gonna do the divorce tank for the supercharger to get some better cooling. And it didn't seem too much extra work to get that done, honestly. So. Yeah, I'm not sure. Eventually, after doing this for a smooth couple minutes, I just say screw it and just full send it. Sometimes it works without breaking anything. Sometimes it doesn't. Well, I think I'm comfortable with a full sender because I don't see anything. I don't see anything obstructing it. I believe it's just such a tight seal on that gasket that it's just not coming up. I don't know, I'm missing any other. See, it moves. It definitely moves back and forth. It's moving like it's still mounted somewhere. I just can't see where that would be. 1, 2, 3, 5. Is that the? Yep, because it is still mounted somewhere. That's all I was thinking. Yep. Cooling pump, Matt from Jacko recommended. Yep. CWA cooling pump. And then also, let me see. I was trying to consider if I was going to get a different radiator as well. This one is kind of old. Have to add it to the budget though. But yeah, I've been looking into the divorce cooling tape specifically to help with the heat, and also they have a PCV valve relocation kit. I've been doing some research on that one as well, but I'm not sure if I actually want to do it because honestly, this PCV valve should last with another. It should last with me another 20,000, 50,000 miles, hopefully, as long as nothing crazy happens. But the relocation kit was just so easy. It had they put a pan from the A6 down into here, and routed some hoses all the way to the side, and then put the actual PCV material over here in the right corner, and you just change it out. And also did a what was it? A catch can as well over here in the corner, but I'm just not entirely sure on how effective all that actually is. Well, I think if you've seen C7 Audi owners, he did of course the divorce cooling setup as well as a relocation kit on his I think he had an A6. That's what he was working on, supercharged A6. Yeah, like I said, all this is like $7,000 at Audi. The car is only worth like all of $6,000 probably. Might be worth 7 after all these jobs, but it just isn't worth it to pay for a whole new car to get this fixed. Honestly, it was already enough with the transmission. The transmission was, I believe, 7,000 as well. Had to buy the transmission, had to do the Medtronic. So I think Blue Book value on these cars like what 6,000. But you can probably sell the B8 8.5s in good condition, of course, for like what, upwards of 10, 12,000, I believe. Right here. See if that is the last bolts, and now it should come up. So it was 14. The thing had 14 bolts on it. And I've been out here so long, but I actually like thought about it. I probably could just looked at the other PCB valve and see exactly how many screws I need to take out. But yeah, now it's free. We don't need this part here. Place it in here. Now it's free and clear to come on out. So I know Audi will be like 7,000. I'm not sure how much my mechanic, who specializes in Audis pretty much, I'm not sure how much he would have charged. Definitely been a much more reasonable price. Yeah, this one is the 2011 B8. It's got 125,000 miles on it. Hey, what's your quote for the test pipes? Don't mind me asking. Or you plan on doing it yourself, right? Yeah, it's a 17. 17, yep. 17. Just grab the adjustable, cut that off real quick. Sure, 17. This should fit. So it's like a 18 then. goes along there. Big sensor goes here. All right, now should be great here. Sensor right here. Yep. What is that? Perfect. All right, got the oil separator out. A lot of mess to clean up down here. Yep, here's how it's looking now. I'm gonna go ahead and suck all the water out of there. I mean, all the, oil and coolant out of there. And I can clearly see oil in here. So, yeah, it was definitely time to replace this. This is gonna take a bit of time to clean, but once this is all cleaned up, I can slap the PCV valve back on, reattach that, and then I'm gonna find the triple square for the water pump. That's the last thing that needs to come off. Replace the water pump, replace the thermostat, because that's already off right now. Then I can put all that back together, and I'm gonna take off the right side, the driver's side tumble flap housing. The left side is already off. Now I'll go ahead and I'll spin the crank and do carbon cleaning. And then once that's done, man, I can put it all back together and see if it'll start up at the end of the day, you know? Yep, let's get all that fluid out of there. Should be full of coolant. Oh, man. Yeah, the gutted cats are definitely the move. I'm not sure you see this one video on YouTube. He did a custom exhaust, but he had gutted cats to, what is it, ultra quiet resonators for his secondary cats, and then Magnaflow X pipe, and then Magnaflow on the for the exhaust, so for the mufflers, and that made the absolute best sound I've ever heard from B8 Audi S4. And that was the plan, but it literally cost the same to get what test pipes. My mechanic quoted me like 700 for test pipes, or it was 700 for gutting the cats. So it's either or, but I know the high flow cat costs about, what, it's $1,000 from German tuning, I believe. Comes with the heat shield and everything. And I'm really interested in that one because the sound that will produce, I believe, will be like the best from a B8 S4, and no one has it, so I might be the first one to take a swing at it. This is just straight oil. And then I'm getting my timing chain done at the same time as the cats as well. And he just needs to do the, I'm not sure if your mechanic told the same thing, but he's just going to do the tensioner so the engine can stay in place. And he's just doing the upper two tensioners, whichever one is rattling. And it's like 1,300 per bank, I believe. So 2,600 in total. But if I only need one tensioner done, I might just get one tensioner done and get the other one done. One needs to be replaced. But I do want to replace both of the seals on there because I believe there's leaking a bit of oil back there. Take care of this coolant. Yeah, once the timing chain is done, once the cats are done, and my cats are actually, I think the left one, the actual passenger side is actually blown out just from driving it. So it's actually pretty much hollow in there. When I do a cold start, it sounds very aggressive. The other side, we checked out, that one is still fully intact. So it sounds pretty good for what it is right now. It's very smooth sound. But I definitely want a more aggressive sounding, I do want more of an aggressive tone to the car that test pipes or the high flow cats will provide. I might have to reseal this. Dang. Yeah, let me change the seal. Let's see if this will work. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I would definitely enjoy the gutted cats more. The only issue was when he did do gutted cats, I think he had like some drone issues when he was driving on like the highway or something like that. But I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the stock resonator in, or get a even bigger one maybe to kind of calm the sound now. Cables and wires sitting in coolant. It's not ideal. Yeah, so how are the ultra quiets as the mufflers? I know those are pretty small. So I had a C300 before this. I had what was it called? I had glass packs for the mufflers. So the ultra quiets are kind of similar to the glass packs. But I think what I've been seeing is that even if you do the test pipes, every person has the ultra quiet somewhere in their exhaust setup, just to tone everything down a bit. Honestly, when I get done, I'm gonna search up a video of a straight pipe B8 S4 because I'm sure that thing is obnoxiously loud. Might just be able to put towels on the rest of the stuff. Just dried oil and gunk. Man, all in here. But yeah, once I go test pipes or the high flow cats, I'm gonna start working on a exhaust setup for this car. And I really am leaning towards the high flows because, like I said, no one has really seen the high flow cats. I'm interested to see how it will sound on the Audi. Man, yeah, this might be where I take a break. This is a lot. I mean, taking stuff apart is cool. It's just the cleaning. That's the part right there that I just don't necessarily like. Don't want to knock stuff around, especially with the open ports, things like that. Don't want to knock anything around too excessively. If I had a better, what is it, water pump or was it suction something to suck the water up with would be much easier, I think. Oh yeah, you still have the stock cat, so I'm pretty sure it sounds pretty good. You used to just have the ultra quiet mufflers, and you still have the X pipe. Oh, so MagnaFlow to vibrate bullet resonator to vibrate ultra quiet. That probably sounds pretty good. And do you have a video of the exhaust posted anywhere? I want to see what that would sound like. Yep. I think I might just clean until my phone dies, then I'll take a break, get some food, and get back at it. So much I can get done. I wonder if a shop bag could get all this up. Yeah, they got the PCV valve off. I just need I need a triple square.
What's that?
There's a bolt, goes to the water pump right here. And I got two of them out with a T50 Torx bit, but the last one kind of stripped on me, so I need a M9 triple square to get that bolt out. But no one sells an M9. They sell the kit with an M8 and an M10. They skip right over M9. So I'm gonna try to get this cleaned up, and then I'm gonna go ahead out and get the M9, I guess, if anybody sells it. Which Might be a little journey. But this is the worst part. I have to clean all this out and then put the PCV valve back on.
You already cleaned it out?
No, it's still, it was full of liquid, but I already took the liquid out, but all around the edges, all the dirt, things like that, get it spotless and then put it back on. But once that's on, thermostat goes right there, the vacuum pump, and then once you get that pulley off of the water pump, it's pretty much done. And then I'm gonna do the carbon cleaning as well. So it's all just kind of like tedious work right now. I'm just getting things cleaned up at this point. Not too much fun.
You want these?
What's that, donut?
Like a chocolate glazed one.
Yeah, I'm gonna come get it in a second then. So you said it sounds, oh, and yeah, the tone is definitely what I'm looking for with this car. I don't want anything like too crazy. So I think you might have my preferred exhaust setup, honestly. Just a nice deep tone, especially a good cold start with that setup would probably be nice as well. But then just a nice, smooth, deep tone all the way through. And then, of course, the supercharger whine. I want the supercharger to be the loudest thing. So I think with this build, like I said, I'm keeping this car forever. So eventually I'll do the dual pulley with the ported supercharger and the upgraded throttle body to maximize the sound. I'm not sure how much power. I think when you port it, it adds about what, like 50 horsepower, I believe. So I don't think it was anything too crazy noticeable in terms of power, but definitely for the sound. The only issue is that it costs like what, 2,000, 5,000, however much to get that whole setup. So it's reported, I believe. Yeah, high flow cats. Yeah, so I run the high flow cats with the stock exhaust to see how that sounds. But I definitely want to get definitely might do the vibrant ultra quiets as well to get a little bit more tone out of it. But yeah, it already sounds great with the I guess the partially gutted cats that I have back there. But I just want a little bit more, just a little bit more. And if I live stream the cold start, if I finish up today, which honestly I might be able to finish today or early tomorrow morning, I'll do a cold start video. Kind of see how it sounds with like the partially gutted cats. It's a very nice deep tone to it. Because you can start up if you're inside. If you're inside, you can start up and hear it from the inside of the house. It always sounds pretty good. M3, man, you're switching to BMW? Come on now. Dude, I keep the Audi just so I can flex in the BMWs, man. Actually, since you have the dual pulley, have you ever raced the M3 G80? Cause I have a friend with the G80 that I've been meaning to line up with him for a long time. This is on stage 1. But I've been meaning to actually line up and see what the difference is, but I never had the car just in the best optimal condition. So after this, I guess I'll probably line up with the G80 with the stage 1, 2, and see how it does. But the dual pulley S4 versus the M3 G80, how do you think it would fare? How can I handle this? I could. I might just take a brush and start scrubbing. Suck it all out. That was probably the best move. Man. But yeah, I do love the M3s though. They look really good, sound really good, and just the tunability of them. Simple test pipe or down pipe with the tune. You're making a bunch of power, great sound, great performance. It's just much less. It's much less effort than the Audi for sure to make much more power. So I definitely see the appeal, but I just love how unique the S5 is. Because you can beat pretty much any regular car, pretty much beating all the all American cars off the line pretty much with this setup, especially with dual pulley. Beat most of the German cars. It's just the mid range that's so sketchy. But off the line, man, it's such a fun car. I just need to clear I really just need to clean the ceiling where the PCV valve sits. So I'm gonna just try to get the crevices as best I can, and I'll do a good clean on the seals. Get down here as well, and slap the PCV valve back on. Said off the line, the Audi won't pull, but top end the Beamer will catch up. Saying like the Audi will went off the line. Yeah, I'm thinking the Audi off the line, the DSG is definitely the best case. Dual pulley with the DSG off the line, I think it might be able to do something. Like you said, like the top end speed, it'll definitely be the Beamer for sure. I think what I might do is I might go line up with a definitely would be fair, but like a 330 or something like that. A 330i with a tune. 335i with friends. 335i with a tune and the exhaust, and I'm gonna see how it does with top end speed versus that car. I think it's like a 4-cylinder with the single turbo, but it's very light, and it's a manual transmission. So I'm honestly off the line and top end speed. I think stage 1 should take care of that car, but the M3 competition with the twin turbo V6, that's a whole different story. See, right now I'm just stalling. I really do not want to clean this out, but man. I wonder if I take the vacuum if we can get any of this stuff out. It's just all too, it's not dry enough to really vacuum up though. Yeah, off the line, I'm thinking it'll definitely win. Oh, this is working out great. Yeah, the Beamers have always have some crazy horsepower numbers, man. I was watching I want to say like Car Wow, I think, and it would be like what a 400 horsepower Beamer versus a 400 horsepower Audi, and the Beamer will win. So it's definitely always pushing much more power than they're saying they are. Well, honestly, I think a lot of the German cars they downplay the numbers. So when you actually like down test it, it's usually like a little bit higher, I believe. Yeah, the vacuum worked out great. It's a dry and wet back, so it took care of some of the fluid as well. A lot of the dirt, yeah, that's cut the time down by a lot. Perfect. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a Beamer as well. If someone just gave me a BMW, I would definitely enjoy that. And honestly, have I driven a BMW? Yeah, I don't think I have actually driven a BMW. So what I might do is I might ask one of my friends let me drive it real quick to see the difference, and I might fall in love with BMWs as well. But I love Mercedes. I love Audi. Love Audi for sure. Definitely one of my favorite cars. I think if I were to do something, I would get the W204 AMG. Yeah, W204 Mercedes AMG. They don't come in manual, but if they had the manual option, I would definitely love that. Might have like a manual swap or something like that, but yeah, one of the W204 AMGs, coupe of course, and I would definitely enjoy the V8. I'll probably supercharge it as well. Get a supercharger kit. It's just a very aggressive and good looking car in my opinion. Great power. I think it's like 500 horsepower. And Mercedes is easy to work on, man. I had the C300 before this one, and I'll tell you, every job was just so easy. It was very accessible. Nothing crazy had to be done to the car. Great maintenance. It's just reliable. I feel like I traded in a reliable car for a very unreliable car. Is what it felt like. So, but in that same aspect, I learned a lot when a car is unreliable. So. Because then you just go in there and you fix things. And once you work on like an Audi, man, every other car is very simple. Except for the Japanese. The Japanese cars, Toyotas are usually fine, but Lexus, Toyota, and the Infinities, man, those are a little bit more complicated for me. Just a lot of different parts, a lot of different things in different places. But it's not too bad once you get into it, but those are definitely, I prefer working on Mercedes #1, I would say Audi next, and then probably American. Actually, I'll say American cars at #1 to work on. Everything's very easy. All the parts don't have to be imported. Very affordable. So American cars first, then I'll go Mercedes, then the Audi. BMW is actually awful every time I look at a BMW, and then yeah, definitely the Japanese cars last. It just depends on what car it is. A lot of the G30s are a little bit more complex for me to work on for some reason. Yeah, the W204, man, you cannot miss on W204. Love the body style, love the interior, the sound, the color, everything about that car to me is just kind of perfect. Like I said, much more reliable and easier to work on, in my opinion. I think the main thing is I need another car. I'm keeping this one, but I need something that's more reliable. So when I save up enough, I definitely either want to get it'll be a lot to save up for, but definitely either with an AMG or find something cheap with it's either one thing. I don't want a V8 or I want a manual transmission. So I'm gonna find one of those cars with that criteria and in my price range. And I'll definitely want to pick one up. Not sure how long it's gonna be until I can afford one of those, but it's definitely on the way. But yeah, the Audi is ridiculous. Actually, I wouldn't mind a manual transmission A4, manual transmission B8 A4. So the exact same car with a 4-cylinder and a turbo with a manual transmission. I think all-wheel drive, of course. I don't want the CVT is just devastating to to drive. Honestly, the front-wheel drive. But I would do if I could find. They sell for about like what $6,000, I believe, $7,000 for a good quality, probably like 8,000 mile, 13 Audi A4 with a manual transmission. Only issue would be like the clutch repair and things like that. But it's not hard to work on. It's a 4-cylinder. And honestly, they're pretty reliable because I work on I've worked on a few A4s, and there's never any crazy issues wrong with the car. It's always just like, regular maintenance, oil change, spark plugs. Never have to get down there and do anything crazy to the car. It just has like the regular wear and tear, suspension components, brakes, things like that. There's never anything wrong with the engine, so that's actually a pretty good car to get as well. It does burn a lot of oil. That's one thing I would say. It's a lot of it leaks from a lot of different places, and it just consumes oil as well. This one consumes oil too, but the A4 will consume like a whole quart a month, maybe even more. Yeah, the E46 M3, yep. That's a good car to look at. And then no, I'm actually not a mechanic. I just like cars. So I'll sit down, I'll make videos. And I do because the YouTube it pays pretty good. So every time I do a video, I'll make some money, and I can put more parts in the car, do more services and things like that. And help some people out too, because this car right here particularly, there are so many issues with the car, and we've been able to actually sit down and troubleshoot a lot of it. That's why a lot of videos that I post is usually about solving some type of problem, either electrical or the MMI or the parking brake, things like that. And it just helps out because it's so common. And if you go to the dealership, they're gonna charge you $1,000 for just look at the car and things like that. So I wasn't really rocking with that. So I learned how to do everything myself. And then once you do something like this, like taking a PCV valve off, you kind of know how to do everything. Valve covers. Yeah, once you're this far into the engine, you kind of know how to do everything pretty much. The only thing I don't know how to do will be the timing chains. Honestly, don't trust myself to do that. Because if you mess the timing chains up, then you're actually gonna destroy your engine. So I will send that to a very trusted mechanic. And then actually, when I bought this car to put the new transmission in, a good mechanic friend of mine, he actually let me help him out with the installation. So I was in the shop as well, learning how to put the transmission in, learning how to where things go pretty much, different tools, different techniques and things like that. And he kind of showed me a lot of things about the Audi specifically in German cars. So got some good information from him. But no, I just have mechanic tendencies, I guess. I'm always breaking down the car. It's just a fun thing to do. But I honestly hate working on cars. A lot of my friends and people around me, they'll ask me to fix their cars, and if it's something easy, then I'll say, yeah, I'll do it. I'll make a video on it. It's usually something pretty simple. But getting dirty, getting your hands dirty, things like that, having to scrub, and especially when things don't go right, and most of the time they just don't go right, and that's always the worst part about it. But it feels good to get the job done and have everything work correctly. So it's a very rewarding job, I feel like. Then a lot of guys I hang out with too, they also are into cars as well, so they're always breaking things down. we'll help each other out. Different tools and some different parts. Like my friend Michael comes over in a second with his new car we're gonna check out. I'll probably have him help me out with this pulley real quick so I can get the job done. I think the best way to own one of these cars, especially these high mileage Audis, is you gotta go to kind of like car shows, I think, and then you gotta talk to people. So you gotta talk to mechanics, you gotta talk to people who own the car, and then they'll tell you all the tips and tricks and people to go see to get like the best prices on things. Because if you just have this car, honestly, if you have a supercharged V6 Audi S4 and you have stock intake, no upgrades, things like that, I think it's probably the wrong car for you, honestly. I think you need the intake, you need to hear supercharger, and then you need to get on the throttle every now and again to fully appreciate the B8 S4. Because if you're not like, if you're not using the car for what it's meant for, you might as well just get a regular A4. But in that same little spiel, it's just like, if you get out, meet people, go to car shows, talk to mechanics, they'll tell you exactly who to go see, who to go talk to get the best prices on this car. Because if you own this car, just taking it to the Audi dealership and getting services. If you have money like that to get a service at the Audi dealership, man, that's a different story. But I feel that they just kind of overcharge. It's like $160 an hour. All the parts are crazy expensive. They're always going to do something extra, suggest some extra stuff that you don't need. So you just talk to the right people and they'll tell you exactly who to go see, how to get the job done yourself, actually. And that's the best way to afford a car like this. But it's definitely not cheap to own a S5, S4, or any Audi really, especially these older ones. It's not easy to own anything but an S on it. And if you have an RS on the thing, man, that's definitely a lot of money for everything. Brake job is a couple of thousand. Any maintenance is a couple of thousand. That's an excessive car right there. Yeah, working on cars does give you a good perspective. You're not too worried about a lot of issues that come. Like if you have like the OB2 reader, you check engine light, just go out, check it yourself, and it's just like peace of mind when you know about your car and you know a couple of things about cars. But on the flip side, it's nerve-wracking to know what's going on with your car, because when I drive this car, I'm always worried that something is going wrong. If it like shifts too late or shifts funny, or if it's like, doing some strange things, like, okay, yeah, it's probably this, I spent a bunch of money. So it's nerve-wracking to know exactly what's going on with your car when things are happening. It's one of those ignorance is bliss type situations. So I'm always thinking about what could go wrong with this car, things that could fail. I don't let it bother me too much. I'll just drive the car, have a good time with it, but it's always in the back of my mind what could go wrong with this car, especially the B8s. Let me stop playing around and just get the scrubbing. I'm gonna use the brake cleaner on this. Can scrub all this down. I might go pick up some Scotch Brite as well, so I can actually clean these valves a little bit better. I'm clean the mating surface a bit better. But yeah, once this is cleaned up right here, throw the PCV valve back in, put that annoying screw in the back on, and then it really is kind of a home stretch. Not too much. It's all downhill from there, I would say. Depends on how easy this carbon cleaning is, which I assume is going to be very tedious. Yeah, it's not. And yeah, just the complexity of the job is why I didn't video it. I mean, I'm videoing it, but it's just it's not a tutorial. Because like I said, there's other good videos out there on how to do all this stuff from FCP Euro, and I think most people aren't actually willing to do this job. A lot could definitely go wrong. A lot of things could happen. It's very, if you mess up, it'll be very annoying to undo all the work. So that's why they make a full tutorial on it. Like I said, better videos out there already. I think I like to find like the simple fixes, things that everyone can do pretty much and save some money. Because a lot of the easy, like, 30-minute, 1-hour jobs they can do yourself would be like, $1,000 or $1,000 at the Audi dealership or at your mechanic pretty much. So why not just do it yourself? Yeah, this right here is a whole different ball game. Because then you have to actually fill the car with coolant as well. Once everything is back on. And if you didn't do something right, you have to drain the coolant again. Take the supercharger off again, and then a bunch of other random things that need to take place before. And of course, like, finding what exactly went wrong, because there is so much down here. So many wires, clips, and different holes and breather valves and things like that. It's easy to lose track. And then I wonder what, I'm not sure if it's only supposed to be coolant in here or what, because there's coolant and oil everywhere. So it was definitely time for the PCV valve to be changed. Which is like, okay, what part is supposed to be coolant, what part is supposed to be oil, so. Yep, we need to find that hex bolts, get the water pump on. Yeah, by the time I get the valve and the water pump and the thermostat on, I think I'll call it a day and I'll tackle. Nah, tomorrow is. Yeah, not to get this all done today. It's not gonna fly. Or it might just fly. Yeah, that might work out. So yeah, I'm gonna get as far as I can today, then probably finish it off tomorrow. need someone who's like well rested to come in here and just clean up all this stuff. I can just come back in here and just put it all together. See, I'm gonna find some Scotch-Brite pads. Hit the valves. Man, this is a TV's work. Yeah, looking pretty good. Whole bunch of lines up here. Or fuel. Too. Yeah, the thermostat definitely was either leaking, I believe. Yeah, it's definitely leaking. It's not gonna do it. Let me get a sanding pad. Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point right here. Close everything up, and then we'll go find all the way up top. I'm gonna just let this chill. And come back to all this probably in about 30 minutes, an hour. Sure everything's out the way.